Hi everyone, and welcome back to my No Buy Year. Today I have a video that I'm extremely excited about because it's another lightning flash of realization that I had just a couple of days ago that I just had to share with you. So I wanted to walk you through my experience 2 evenings ago when I realized that my attachment to stuff is really and legitimately changing. So I've done on this channel makeup declutters and a declutter of my bathroom counter flat surfaces. And in those videos, I interacted with all of my makeup and beauty products, and I decided that I was going to declutter one way or another some lipsticks, and I'm specifically talking about a couple of lipsticks with very beautiful packaging. One of them is still kind of on the fence. It's a YSL lipstick that some people are actually telling me they like the color of on me, and I actually didn't know whether it looked good or not, so I'm still kind of hemming and hawing over whether to keep that one and try to wear it more, or just declutter it and maybe do something with the tube. But the Gucci one I could not keep because on my lips it bled out of the lines and ended up looking clownish by the end of the evening. So the Gucci lipstick I did prepare to be repurposed as a bobby pin holder for my purse. So I took the lipstick out, took the inner casing out, and now it's just the shell where I can put bobby pins to store them in my purse. For now though, the empty lipstick container is just sitting on my bathroom counter. I am not a neat freak in real life, so sometimes things are just sitting out waiting to be dealt with for days on end. Let me know if that's relatable, if that's you as well. So I was having to kind of confront this lipstick container on a casual basis, right? Here it is sitting on my counter, and I see it multiple times a day when I'm in my bathroom, washing my hands, doing my makeup, or whatever the habit is, brushing my teeth at night. And a couple of nights ago, I saw this lipstick yet again, and I realized in a flash that if this lipstick tube does not actually serve a useful purpose as a bobby pin holder in my purse, I should just let go of it, and I should be okay with it. And it's okay that it's a pretty object that doesn't serve me, and therefore has to be disposed of. The best thing that I can do is to avoid accumulating such things in the future, and it's not productive to feel guilty about it either. And then I continued along this line of thinking and realized the same thing about those couple of perfumes that I was hemming and hawing over in my flat surface declutter. I have 2 perfumes that I don't think I'll ever wear again just because perfumes themselves are too strong for me now. They are uncomfortable for my olfactory system. They make me cough now. I can't breathe normally with a heavy scent on. I also can't wear them to work because I work in a symphony orchestra, and you are not allowed in your contract to wear heavy perfumes or colognes on stage. So they're almost useless to me in everyday life, but the bottles were so pretty that I thought maybe I should keep these and display them. But now I realize that if they're not useful to me, maybe just the beauty of them is not a worthy reason to keep them. And once again, hello, Captain Obvious. This is not a new idea and a new realization, but it is a new level of realization for me as a person on a no-buy year who formerly struggled with buying too many things that I don't really need. In real time, I'm experiencing this philosophical shift of beliefs, of thoughts, of feelings. And this is the stuff that I find so absent in a lot of the advice videos online. A lot of things about how to live a more minimal life, or how to declutter, or how to have better style, or how to even shop better are lists of surface level tips that you can perform the motions of until you're blue in the face. You can declutter your makeup. You can declutter your clothes. You can do a one-in, one-out policy. You can have a budget. You can do all these things. But you can't change the way you feel or experience looking at a beautiful object until you've set the conditions to do so, until you've aligned the forces of your life so that that realization can happen. That lightning bolt, that storm can form and strike and make you really realize that just because it's pretty doesn't mean you have to keep it if it's not useful. No listicle advice video is going to make you feel that in your heart, in your core, in your system of beliefs. So anyway, I think it's time that I probably let go of those perfumes. And a very helpful commenter said that I could probably resell them since they're both possibly discontinued, more rare scents, and they're both probably not expired per se to somebody who loves perfumes. They just tend to develop and maybe change their scents. Again, I'm not sure if that's right or wrong, but I might just throw them up on Mercari and see if somebody is interested to buy them for themselves. Because I realized that I don't need to keep the bottles just because they're pretty. My attachment to beauty and to things is really changing. And I felt the shift perceptibly. And it was honestly fascinating. I guess that's kind of what people mean when they say something clicked. Like, that's what that feels like. And I don't think I've experienced that recently. I think maybe the last time I've felt that something clicked moment has been when I'm actively trying to learn something or acquire a new skill. It's not in an abstract moment of understanding of my relationship to consuming and shopping. So I'm actually pretty thrilled about it. And it's kind of like that saying, is it a Plato saying? Where the beauty of something is because it's useful. And I'm not even saying that that has to be your value or that you have to agree with that statement that it's not beautiful if it's not useful. This isn't really what this video is about, but I understand that saying now. The video is about my new understanding of that value that I didn't have before. So you are free to keep all the beautiful things, even if they're not useful. That's not what I'm trying to accomplish by sharing this, is making you get rid of the beautiful things that aren't useful in your life. This video is about that moment of realization of the shift in my own values towards the path of what I view as progress for my own life. Again, my values. It's going to be easier now to not buy something because it's beautiful, because my value has genuinely changed to favor whether it's useful in my life. If it's beautiful and useful, then great. The marriage is perfect. If it's beautiful and not useful, then I can truly say that I don't need it and that I'm not going to want it anymore. And again, not that everything useful has to be beautiful, but my ability now to ascertain whether I need something because it's beautiful has now developed to the next level, to a more responsible stage that is required for me to consume in a better way going forward, even after the no-buy year. And the other side of this is that now I'm starting to see that keeping too many of these beautiful items that aren't useful around is more of an inconvenience than an asset. Having too many beautiful things to look at does not really serve any meaningful purpose. While it might look desirable on the most surface level, it represents truly much more inconvenience, more maintenance, more stuff that has to be done, more desires even, than it does value in one's life. And to somebody who's already a minimalist, that probably makes a lot of sense and sounds extremely obvious. But to somebody who's not a minimalist and has seen a bunch of minimal content, this is the path in to that point. This is the path to becoming more like somebody who believes those things. I would have actually said that I do believe all of those things on the surface, but I didn't feel them in my soul the same way that I did 2 nights ago when I walked past the Gucci lipstick container and thought, I probably don't need to keep that if it's not going to be useful. And this is kind of the opposite of all the social media consumerism trends that we see these days. They're all shoving products in our faces saying, oh, it's so beautiful. Oh, you need it. Oh, you should try it. Oh, it's only $5. It's not a big deal. You should buy it. And it's not inconvenient. It's more valuable for you to acquire it than not. This voice inside me now is speaking out to the contrary of all of those things. And it's not the same as watching other creators speaking to the contrary of it. I'm actually feeling it for myself. I recently saw something about how underconsumption core is becoming a trend as well. And I love to see it. I love to consume content that is the antithesis of consumer culture. But it doesn't replace the true personal realizations that bring me further along the path to conscious consumerism. So the shift is happening. It's really happening. And the other thing is, if I had just ruthlessly or forcefully decluttered those things that I knew I didn't need to keep, I knew I couldn't wear the lipstick, I could have just thrown the lipstick away. Same with the perfumes. I knew I was going to never wear them again. I knew they served no purpose. But if I had just gotten rid of them, I don't think I would have had this moment of clarity, this true realization that just because they're beautiful, I don't need to hang on to them. If I wasn't confronted with that lipstick tube every day, it's a small object, right? It doesn't take up much space. It's not obtrusively inconvenient. If I hadn't seen it every day and my subconscious wasn't working it over, I don't think I would have the value of this real shift in my attitude that I have now. So I guess another lesson here is don't just blindly follow the prescriptive advice of somebody who's further along the path than you. You have to walk the path yourself, in whatever form that may take. If something in you is telling you, maybe I want to keep these lipstick tubes, they're so beautiful, maybe I can repurpose them, go ahead and keep them. Don't feel like you have to throw them away because somebody said you should. You may come to later realize, for yourself, in your own true authentic way, that actually maybe you don't need to keep them. And when you have that realization, if you do, because it's not a must for everybody to think this way, but if you do come to realize that for yourself, it will be so much more valuable, long-lasting, you'll carry it forward into your beliefs in the future, and this is the kind of work that shapes your habits long-term, beyond the no-buy-year challenge, or any other kind of challenges you might be confronted with. I think this applies in many, many other areas of life. So go beyond going through the motions. Actually do the reflection. Actually let your subconscious brain process these things. Don't move too quickly if you don't feel like you want to. Don't feel bad that your journey doesn't look like somebody else's, or that your room is not as aesthetic as the other minimalists, or that even if you're not a minimalist, if you don't have the same level of organizations as the restock TikToks online, whatever you might be seeing, your journey is your own. And I think the more you can allow the conditions for these organic realizations to happen, the more sustainable your goals will be, and the more strength you will have when you actually reach them. And this is what real results look like in the self-help category, I think, if I may be so bold to say so. Nobody can tell you how to reach it, but once you do, you can really feel the shift inside. And my hope is that by sharing it in this kind of messy, honest way with you here, I can help you set your own conditions for these realizations to happen in whatever goals you may have at the moment. Let me know if there's anything else you think I could do to be helpful in this regard, as somebody who is a fellow traveler on this journey. And with that, I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.